today I had a call with a guy. We found a pattern that he was kind of like not prioritizing himself and his goals, and he was kind of like doing everything around. The objection came like, not now. I want to think about it. Challenged him on like, that way of thinking and decision-making process. He like agreed. But then it was like, but I'm not making decision now. I do want to do it today. How do you know where he's like disqualified the guy and like obviously like that's not gonna help him? And how do you help them overcome so the pattern doesn't keep happening? Because obviously like we get kind of like stuck at the fork in the road at that point.
Yeah. It's a very complicated question to answer. I'll ask you a couple of questions. Number one, this guy, whatever it is that you're selling him, do you feel like it was genuinely something that would be helpful for him in his life?
Yeah.
Okay. Question number two, did he feel that way?
Yeah.
Cool. Question number three, did he and you both feel that it would be more beneficial to do it sooner rather than later?
Yes.
Sooner. Cool. So you've got all the right elements. That means that there was just something that came in the way at the end. Whether it be it's just the way that he makes decisions all the time, or what an identity, whatever it might be. Personally, the best way that I found to reframe objections is the never miss analogy. So basically, how do I say this? The never miss analogy does exactly what it says. It's why I named it the never miss analogy. It never fucking misses. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced a time where it hasn't hit. For myself, clients maybe have used it where they haven't told me and it hasn't hit, but I don't know. Um, so all that it is it's using the number one rule of sales. When you get into objection handling, how many of you have seen those like Instagram reels and stuff of people objection handling and they just like talk at the prospect for a bit
Oh Lord, too
about
many.
like a limiting belief or whatever and
All of
like
them.
exactly. What's the number one rule of sales?
Ask
Have the
questions.
prospect
Let the prospect
answer.
speak.
Yeah,
Yes,
have them come to their own
exactly.
conclusion.
One of my favorite way to put it is whatever I say is garbage. Whatever the prospect says is gospel. Like anything that comes out of my mouth that is a statement has the chance for the prospect to disagree with it. That's why question-based selling is such a powerful thing. If you didn't realize, it's like a method. There's a book. I think it's by Thomas Friess. It's one of my favorite sales books, by the way. If you haven't read it, it's a fantastic one. It will explain a lot of this to you, but um, that's why we ask questions in sales, because if there's a question, somebody cannot disagree with a question. There's just answers to questions,
Mm.
right? They can disagree with like the premise of the question, but that gets into semantics. But statements, if I make a statement to the prospect, they can absolutely disagree with it. So the never miss analogy leverages that. I want to get the prospect to tell me the reframe, not me tell them. So basically the way that it goes is, has there ever been a time in your life, and I do a little insert in parentheses, maybe when you were a kid, a lot of times, when, and then I basically give them the principle of the decision that's at hand. So for Joe, for that situation, right? Has there ever been a time in your life, maybe when you were a kid, when you knew that something was good for you, you knew that you should do it sooner rather than later, but there was a reason or another that you shouldn't do it, whether it made sense or not. There was a reason or some other.
Hmm.
But instead, you decided to do it anyway. And ultimately, it resulted in you being glad that you did it. And they're like, yeah, pretty much everybody's experienced that before because it's principle based. We can do another one. Say that somebody is afraid of moving forward because they've never done it before. Has there ever been a time in your life, maybe when you were a kid, when you knew that something was good for you, but you just never done it before? So you're just a little bit scared. But you chose to push through that fear anyway. And when you did, it resulted in good things. And ultimately, you're glad that you did it. What was that? You can also go the opposite with this, right? Has there ever been a time in your life, maybe when you were a kid, when you knew that you should do something, but there was a little bit of fear because you'd never done it before. And so you didn't push through that fear. And looking back,
Mm.
you wish more than anything that you had. What was that? So what they're going to do is they're going to recall an experience, which people never disagree with their own experiences. their own memories. They can't negate that because they're pulling it out of their brain. It's lived experience, and people make decisions according to their lived experiences, whether they've been rewarded or punished for them. So they recall their lived experience. They tell you about what happened. You get them to relive it a little bit. How old were you? What happened? What were you feeling at the time? Where do you feel that fear came from? How did that make you feel afterwards? What makes you say that you'd give anything to go back? What did you learn from that experience? That's usually where they give you the actual reframe. Like, I learned that I should push through the fear, even if I'm a little bit afraid, even if it's the first time that I should do something. And I'm like, huh, interesting. You just said the opposite. And what are we doing here? And then they're like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, let's do it. And they'll just move forward. It's crazy. There's some more details around that, but that's the general gist of it.